Hey, this is Life with Sean Renee here, back with another video. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This video is about my dad sent us away. Let's watch the video.
Story time on the day I found out that defects were coming to take us. We were officially going into foster care. And the person that called defects or foster care was my own father. And how getting into foster care had a domino effect on all of our lives. My sister ended up going to jail for murder. My other sister ended up dying. She overdosed. I'm not sure how my brother's doing because I don't speak to him. It's going to get deep. It's going to be sad. It might be a little triggering. It pretty much ruined us and traumatized us. And if I did not meet my husband when I met him, I honestly don't think I would be sitting here talking to y'all. Let me rephrase that. My husband and his family. If I feel like if I would have never met them, I probably would have had the same fate. I was very, very wild. And the things that I was doing could have easily landed me in prison just like my sister. But let's get into the story, y'all. So here's a little backstory about my mom and dad. They have always been in and out of prison, in and out of jail. My dad, I think he did about 15 years in jail. Mind you, I am 29 now. When he got out of jail, I was probably 20, and I had already had my first kid. I was already married. My mom, she was always in and out of jail for like petty stuff. But this one particular day, she got locked up. And mind you, I'm in 9th grade. Me and my sister were both in 9th grade. We're not twins. She just got kept back because she's a little slow. Not literally slow, but you know, she was the type to not care about school, care about her grades. So once she got locked up, we were thinking that this is probably going to be a 2 to 3 day thing because like this is what she does. She gets locked up and she gets back out. So a week go by, 2 weeks go by, she's still not home. At this moment in time, I'm acting like the parent. I'm making sure we get up for school, making sure we're dressed, making sure we eat something for dinner at night. We're staying at home by ourselves, y'all. There's nobody there. It's just us. And nobody knows this except for my dad, who was in prison. He had a phone in prison, so he could contact us. Only my dad knew, and then a couple of my mom's friends knew, and they would come and check on us. So I think it was the 21-day mark where shit hit the fan. My dad ended up calling defects because he's like, okay, your mom is still not home. We don't know when she's getting out. I don't want you guys, and mind you, we have a roof over our head, y'all. And we're old enough to take care of ourselves. We're 14, 15, and 13. So I don't get why he did that. I just feel like that really like ruined our lives really bad. I don't want to get emotional. But so once he called defects came up to our school and they were talking to us and they was like, are you guys living alone? And I'm lying to them. I'm like, no, my aunt is at our house. We're not alone. So they're like, okay. So they came and talked to us at the school, and then they left. So after school, sometimes me and my sister would stay after school. If we didn't, we would go up to my mom's friend's shop. We would walk to his shop and he would take us home. So there's this one day we were walking to his office and this car just pulls up and we thought we were about to get kidnapped. And the lady gets out the car and she says, I need y'all to come with me right now. And we're like, who the fuck are you, ma'am? So she's like, I'm with defects. If you don't get in this car, you're going down to the detention center. And I'm like, oh shit, this is real. They're coming to take us. And mind y'all, this was on Valentine's Day. So they take us to some intake place. And mind you, we're teenagers. If you grew up in foster care, you know that a lot of foster parents don't like taking teenagers. So they have to resort to sending you to a group home. So we were in intake for about 2 to 3 days. And y'all, it was looking back on it, that was a very traumatic experience for us. Because we just got snatched away like that. So they separated me and my sister. me and my brother ended up staying together because we both had sickle cell. So they felt like we needed to stay together because we both had sickle cell and we knew what to do when we had crisis. And I could take care of him as well. So the first placement that we went to, there it was this lady. She's a very weird lady. Um, so she had a room upstairs, but she had like there was like no actual bed. They had us sleeping on what is it a air mattress. I was sleeping on an air mattress, and when you're in foster care they don't allow girls and boys to be in the same room, even if you're brother and sister. So she didn't have a room for my brother, so he slept downstairs on this little couch. And the lady did not have no food. She was going to church banks getting food and feeding us, and she was feeding us the same thing every day. So I ended up telling the lady, I'm like, hey, she's not feeding us. There's not enough food here. And I'm just thinking that they was going to tell her to get more food. So after I told her that, they ended up removing us, okay? And in the midst of all of this, my mom got out of jail probably like two weeks later after we were in foster care. And we were going to court, figuring out, they were giving her the plan on what to do to get us back. It was very traumatic. Like, it was so like, me now looking back at it, I didn't realize being so young and being in that headspace how traumatic it was. Going to court dates and actually seeing our mom and not being able to go home with her, only being able to spend maybe an hour, 2 hours with her, and us having to go back to a foster home, going to court dates back to back to back. And then eventually got to a point to where I was like, I'm not going home. I don't want to go home with her. But we're going to get to that part. And I say traumatic, and I say that it messed up our lives because they weren't great parents to us. I don't even feel like they tried. I love my family, but, sometimes you have to love some people from a distance, and they're the type of people that you have to love from a distance. But so in the midst of going to court, my aunt was there. Like, my dad's side of the family, they were very involved with us. So my aunt was there, and I'm thinking she's going to get me, my brother, and my sister out of foster care, and she's going to keep us until my mom could get us back. Come to find out, she didn't want to get me or my sister. She just wanted to get my brother, because I found out later on, when I was about 18, why she didn't want to get us. She said that we were too grown. She had a boyfriend in her house, and she thought that we would try to sleep with him or he would try to sleep with us, something along those lines. And it's like, that's really fucked up, that you would think a 14-year-old would want to sleep with your boyfriend. That's really crazy. So fast forward about 2 months, my brother gets out of foster care. It's still me and my sister in foster care. We're still separated at this time. And when I tell y'all, me and my sister used to be like this. Anybody that knows me and knows my sister, they used to think we were twins because we were like this. And foster care really just messed up our relationship horribly, being in foster care and being separated from each other. And I went through a lot. So they ended up taking my brother. He ended up getting out of foster care. I ended up, let me rewind before that. Let me go back some. So after we left the first foster care placement, they found us another placement. And this lady, her house was so beautiful. She was a Jamaican lady. I had like a queen size bed with a drape over it. I had my own bathroom. It was so nice. My brother had his own room that was decorated. It's really nice. The lady would cook really good food for us. She was so sweet. But we ended up getting kicked out of there because me and my brother got into an argument over a computer, and he decided that he wanted to go pick up a knife and try to stab me with it. And he got that from seeing my mom picking up knives when she's in arguments with people, picking up knives trying to stab my dad. So he learned that behavior from my mom. So when he did that, she was like, oh no, I can't keep them. He's too violent. I wasn't the violent one. He was the violent one. So they kicked us out. Come back for a part 2 if you are interested in hearing more.
I'm happy you were able to get through it, and I'm sorry that your dad and your mom wasn't there to be parents to you and your siblings, because it's hard. I've never been not given up for adoption or anything like that. But I've been living in a household with family members where when I was growing up, my family, my dad and my mom would argue a lot. So it was a lot to take in, but I've never had that where you lost a family member or anything like that. Way with like siblings and separation and all that. But I mean, I commend her for able to tell her story, you know. But let's watch part 2. This is Life with Shauna Renee. I will be doing part 2 after this. Bye.